Have you become a pawn, though, do you think?
I believe Lynn Wood and John Pierce used me for their own pawn. That's part of the reason why I fired them.
To be clear, Lynn Wood and John Pierce were your first attorneys.
Correct.
In your case. So walk me through a little bit. I think people hear the name and then they hear the controversy, but they don't know the whole story. So what, in a nutshell, is the whole story with those first two attorneys?
All right, so Lynn Wood and John Pierce on August 27th became counsel, and they started raising money, and they raised over $2 million before September 5th of 2020, and they wanted to fight extradition with a militia argument, which I didn't even know what a militia was until November 20th when I got bailed out. But they went on to say that I was in an unorganized militia, which is just not true, and they didn't respect my wishes, and they kept me away from my family for 87 days, and I thank them for raising the money, but I could have been bailed out a lot sooner in September if they hadn't kept me in jail.
When and how did you find out that they had raised enough money for your bail and still weren't posting it?
Shortly before I fired before my mom fired Lynn Wood, and I want to say December.
But why would she fire him? Did she fire him because she found out that the money was in the pot but wasn't being put towards bail?
We fired him because he was like going on with all this QAnon and election fraud stuff and just stuff we don't agree with.
And so it was his political views that led to you firing Lynn Wood?
A mixture of a little bit of that.
And what else was in the mix?
Just how he is as a person.
And what does that mean?
He's insane.
What made you think he was insane?
Just how he thinks he's God, and he just says all these weird things like we're gonna keep that boy in jail because there's not gonna be any civil or criminal cases come the election, which is just complete insanity.
So you fired him and got a hold of the money that was raised and bailed out, and now I think it's around $2 million. Am I
correct?
Mistaken?
$2 million.
Okay. What happens to that money now, and what do you know about it?
On the day that I was acquitted, Lynn Wood and his attorneys filed a motion with the Kenosha County Court saying, hey, we want that $2 million back that we raised for Kyle, which is supposed to go towards paying my legal bills that I still have going. And he filed that motion as the verdict was being read, as I was walking into court to learn my fate. And he just was trying to grift that money back when he said he raised it for me so I can be able to pay my legal bills.
And so you're in a legal fight for that money?
Yes.
And you've hired civil attorneys?
Correct.
And how much money do you have left in legal bills to pay?
I couldn't give you a number on the top of my head. I looked a couple days ago, but I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly right now. I've been very busy over the past couple days.
That sounds right about right, I would think. The people who put forth that money, they come from all over the country, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And they have, many of them, a political cause as well, because if it was raised under the political banner and your former attorneys were using that politically to raise money, they might feel a certain way.
With all of our donors, I don't believe my donors are political. I believe my donors are the ones that believe in the right to self-defense. We have donors on the left and we have donors on the right. So
do you feel you owe anybody who helped raise money, or do you feel you owe anyone who sent money in any respect, whether you owe them a political stance or whether you owe them certain kinds of interviews? People criticize that you did the Tucker Carlson interview because it was all part and parcel of the money raising.
Well, actually, with Tucker, they reached out to us and they wanted to film a documentary. There was no money exchange, and we never even talked about money. It never was brought out. It was about memorializing my story. And With the donors who donated, I don't believe I owe them a political stance, but I do owe them a huge thank you, and thank you for all the support.
So you don't feel that you owe anybody, a backing to their cause because they backed you?
Look, I don't think politics have anything to do with this, so I don't think I owe anybody a political stance, but I do owe them a huge thank you for all the support and donations.
So I have another question. A lot of this has become political, and many people have felt that it was also a question that involved racism as well. And I know you have a lot of views on that. So this question comes from Brian in Hampton, Virginia. And Brian says, Mr. Rittenhouse, you have stated that you are not a racist, but yet there's video footage of you using hand signs that are used by groups that are considered by many to be white supremacists. Why have you associated with members of groups like the Proud Boys? Why have you used hand signs that are commonly associated with white supremacy?
That's a good question. I didn't know that the OK hand sign was a symbol for white supremacy, just as I didn't know that those people in the bar were Proud Boys. They were set up by my former attorney, who was fired because of that, for putting me in situations like that with people I don't agree with, by having them set up for security without telling us their background. And if I would have known they were Proud Boys, I would have said absolutely not.
So, to be clear, which attorney put you in that bar?
John Pierce.
He took you to that bar?
He arranged it. He wasn't there, but he set it up and arranged it.
Your attorney arranged for a then 17-year-old to go to a bar to meet those people?
For them to do security. And then they asked to buy me a drink, and I said, sure.
And they knew that you were 17?
In Wisconsin, it's legal.
To drink at 17 in a bar?
Yeah, it's weird how it works down there.
I'm going to have to check on that. I would think you'd have to be with your guardian or your parent.
You have to be with your parent or guardian.
Was your mom with you?
Yes.
Okay, well, that makes a little bit more sense. But so if you have, some second thoughts about some of the things that happened in the last year, would that be among the second thoughts?
I definitely don't think it looked good to hang out with people who are now known to be Proud Boys. I definitely wouldn't do that again.
Did they identify themselves to you while you were there? Was it a complete mystery until the headlines popped up later?
I found out they were Proud Boys when I saw the headlines. I thought they were just a bunch of construction dudes based on how they looked.
And that was a meeting ostensibly to set up security for you going forward?
It was for that hearing, for them to watch over my attorney's office.
For a hearing?
Yes.
I just want to be very clear. This was supposed to be those men who you met with were going to help you in a security situation?
Yes.
And you never hired them?
No.
Why not?
I don't associate with the Proud Boys.
You found out that they were,
yeah.
And you decided against.
Yeah,
right.
I don't want anything to do with them.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.